So full disclosure on this one, and I'm being upfront, I have a passion for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I also have a passion for Greek culture, and I think maybe I was Greek in a past life. I don't know what it is. But there is something very special for me playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I absolutely loved it. I don't know why it got so much hate. I never understood that. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. People have certain predilections to certain things. I don't understand it, but whatever. This game got way too much hate. It's so underrated. It's incredibly massive and beautiful. Of course, like in any Assassin's Creed game, I hated the Animus stuffs, but I absolutely love Kassandra as a character, more so than, I don't know, Helios? I can't even remember the dude's name, because I don't usually play as jabronis. I absolutely love Kassandra. Badass, not taking shit from anybody, and also very charismatic, and actually pretty funny at times. So I'm really excited to have this in the studio, and again, I'm going to be a little bit biased in this one, so please bear with me. If you've been watching the channel, and I hope you have, and I hope you're subscribed, you'll know that we have been reviewing this line of products from PureArts. We've already done Animus Naue, we did Animus Altair from the original Assassin's Creed, something that I had a lot of fun playing. For me, Assassin's Creed, especially the original, was a game changer in terms of how innovative those titles were, and I was very happy to be able to play it. The system was really awesome. It's something that we hadn't seen, and it spawned this genre of games. And if you haven't seen the review for Altair and Naue, go ahead and check out my channel. They're definitely there. But we're going to get to what we're here for today. We're going to be reviewing PureArts' version of Animus Kassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Let's take a closer look. So something pretty interesting happened with this piece. The actual box art makes it look worse than it does in person, and it's not doing it justice. The head sculpt here is actually done very well. I think a little cleaner than probably Naue, but to be fair, she's obscured by the hood. Now this is definitely Kassandra. Absolutely love this head sculpt. It's actually very clean. One of the things that I love is the sculpt in the actual hair. The braid is done very well. Something that they got right in the statue, it's not just, a generic face. This is Kassandra, right down to the scar, and even in the eyebrow that is slightly raised on the left side, depending on your perspective, it looks really cool. Overall, they did a really great job on the sculpt, and I like how this came out. Just like with the previous statues, I think the selling point is definitely in the midsection of these pieces, or the upper torso, I should say. This is absolutely stunning. I've commented this before on several videos, how these little statues are really miniaturized versions of premium formats because there is so much detail here. Take a look at the color palettes, especially with her cloak, the offset against the gold, and I know that looks a little bit darker than tan, but that offset looks really great. Also, the detail in the buckles and the actual straps look very fantastic. The wash on the actual cloak itself looks really good. Again, just a level of detail and an immersion that you get from just how much detail is in this. I also particularly love her olive skin, which looks really cool and offsets really well against the armor set. Overall, they did an impeccable job here, and for this level of detail at this price point is pretty remarkable. Okay, if that wasn't impressive enough, this is absolutely incredible what they did here. I'm not sure what this is called. It's the lower skirt, I'm going to call it. First of all, the color palettes are absolutely fantastic. That off-white against the red just looks really cool. But the thing that I like about this is the sense of diamondism. The straps are flowing from left to right like if it's blowing in the wind. It's very epic. The textures are absolutely stunning. This does look like actual fabric, and I know it's sculpted, but it looks that way. Now her legs are also done very well. Again, that olive skin looks great. She's not overly muscular, which is fantastic, but she is Kassandra. The armor set on her legs, the shin guards, are just incredibly detailed. The straps, and then you can see how ornate that is, which looks really great, along with the sandals, who are, slightly raised a little bit, giving her that epic stance. This is absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, in the game, you can upgrade your weapons and you can get loot so that you can use different weapons. Now, this particular one is very interesting. I do want to point out the gauntlet really quick because it is very ornate and it's absolutely beautiful. But she is packing weapons, and one of them, of course, is the Spear of Leonidas, which is absolutely fantastic. Of course, a reference to Leonidas and his 300 Spartans. It's actually done very well. It was a pain in the ass to put on, and I actually had to use a hairdryer to kind of loosen it up, but nevertheless it still worked. The handle is very beautiful, and you can see texturally how intense in terms of the detail it is. That nice gold down the middle of the spear. of Leonidas looks really good offset against the silver. Now, you also get what they call the Hero Sword, which is really cool. It has a nice handle. I think it's in the shape of a serpent. It's not removable, so you can't actually pull this out of the sheath. But again, I just like the fact that she has all 3 weapons, which is really cool. It's static, you can't pull it out, but nevertheless, it does look really cool, just kind of strapped into the side of her, which is pretty awesome. And it actually is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And overall, it just fits the kind of like classic hero style that she has, which is absolutely Kassandra. I don't know, did you guys play as the male version, which is Alexios, I think his name is? I actually preferred Kassandra, but nevertheless, it's really cool that we have this kind of like additional weapon that she's wielding. Now, it's very confusing, the nomenclature of the weapons here, because you have what they call the Spear of Leonidas, but it was actually broken off, and this is an actual spear that she uses in the game. It is a little bit more on the generic side. It's really well balanced, though, and there's a lot of detail here. Now, the only problem with these weapons are, and I gotta be honest in the review, is that they are an absolute pain in the ass to put on. Mostly because this is a little bit more plasticky and PVC than I thought it was going to be. And you kind of have to heat them up, or I guess kind of pull them apart in order for you to get the weapons in. Now, this is a very long spear. It runs the entire length, or probably almost taller than the actual statue itself. Eventually you will get it in. I was always afraid that I was going to break something, but nevertheless it looks really cool. Now, you definitely want to mirror this piece because there's so much going on the reverse side in terms of the just the detail. Of course, you see the detail in the sculpted hair, which looks absolutely great, and that wonderful sculpt in the braid, and then of course her cloak, which is really nice. Again, I love and appreciate how they did the wash here. The lighting effects are more on the reverse side also, so that's something to think about, but just take a look at the way that her skirt is just flowing from left to right, which is really fantastic. You also get a greater appreciation of how she attaches to the base in that kind of like iconic, very heroic stance, which is really awesome. So definitely mirror this piece because it does, warrant it, because there's a lot of detail on the reverse side of this one. Now, speaking of the base, one of the things I love about these pieces is that they have very little footprint relative to the piece, which means that you're going to have a lot more shelf space in order to display these pieces. But what is remarkable about this one, not only is it the architecture of a Greek or Greco-Roman city or a Greek city, but just take a look at how ornate that is. There are depictions of battles, of Greek battles. There's that beautiful eagle right on top of it, shields, horses, just very epic Greek kind of mythology here that is sculpted into the base with a nice wash. This level of detail for this scale is pretty incredible, and they just lumped it in here, which looks really great. So this for me is an A+ with the base. So just like the previous statues, this does have a light up function, which I have to say I dimmed all the lights here and to try to make it a little bit more luminous, and this is not doing it justice. This one really lights up. I know I said that about the Altair statue, but this one is incredible, and what I like about it is this amber glow, which really bleeds into the statue itself, giving it a little bit more epic. This is going to look amazing when the lights are a lot dimmer, and it bleeds all the way onto the left, or the right side of this piece, I should say, all the way down to the base where it gets really intense and bright. And I love how it looks like it's melting that side of the architecture of the overall piece, which is really cool. I really have to say I'm really impressed with this. Of course, it's a short Type C thing, which please fix that, PureArts. Alright, so I'm going to check my bias at the door, and I realized that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was not for everybody, and it was kind of controversial for most people. I don't understand why, but I'll let you have your opinions. But for me, this is an absolutely beautiful statue. I absolutely love Kassandra. This is amazing. I had to have this in my piece. I think I prize this one more against the two that I've already reviewed, but I've got the rest of them coming in, so we'll see what happens. But for me, this one is absolutely stunning, and I had to have this one. So if you are passionate about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and you like Kassandra and you have some extra drachmi lying around, definitely pick this one up because I highly recommend it. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on PureArts' version of Animus Kassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the statue review. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Rauteza Reviews.